Along with old classics like carrots give you night vision and Santa doesn't bring toys to misbehaving children, one of the most well-known phrases is that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Hi viewers, and welcome back to another Bestie video. Many of us grow up believing that skipping breakfast is a dietary travesty, but while it's historically been praised for everything from hunger-busting properties to magical weight loss powers, recent science suggests those scrambled eggs aren't all they're cracked up to be. And in today's video, we'll bust a few myths about breakfast that have been going around for way too long. From breakfast being the most important meal of the day, eating only certain foods for breakfast, not needing to eat breakfast if you're not hungry, to needing to eat a big breakfast and more. Watch till the end to learn about all of them. Number 1. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You've heard it all your life, right? Well, it is true that people who eat breakfast tend to be healthier than the 20-some% of us who don't. Observational studies show breakfast eaters have less heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and high cholesterol than breakfast skippers. But it's not clear if breakfast is the secret sauce that makes the difference or if breakfast eaters simply have more good habits, like exercising, not smoking, drinking less alcohol, and eating a better diet overall. And on the flip side, some recent studies suggest that skipping breakfast now and then may have health benefits too. In the end, there's not much proof that breakfast is any more important than other meals. What is important? Choosing healthy foods, eating mindfully, and planning smart meals when you do eat. How often do you skip breakfast? Tell us quickly down below in the comment section. Number 2. Eating breakfast makes you lose weight. Previous research stated that eating breakfast could help fight obesity, and that weight-busting power has been touted for decades, but newer findings suggest that this may have been misinterpreted. One study's breakfast eaters reported more physical activity, and another saw success in participants who changed their entire eating habits as a whole. More recent research finds the opposite of what we once believed, that eating breakfast is linked with slightly more physical activity, but not a direct change in the metabolism. For weight loss, the overall type and amount of food, along with your exercise plan, seems to be the most important. Number 3. Eat breakfast and you'll munch less throughout the day. While we've often heard that eating in the morning, whether you're hungry or not, can help bust cravings for the rest of the day, recent science suggests otherwise. Researchers looked at the effect of skipping breakfast versus eating a high-carb or high-fiber breakfast. They concluded that the breakfast skippers were hungrier at lunch, but didn't actually consume more calories in total throughout the day than breakfast eaters. Older research, however, does show that eating breakfast could jumpstart metabolism. If you wake up hungry, you should definitely eat a healthy breakfast. But if you're looking to stave off hunger throughout the day, another option is to pack more protein into your diet. Research shows that increasing the amount of protein in your diet can help grow the amount of hunger-fighting hormones in your body. So, while breakfast alone may not reduce hunger for the rest of the day, a protein-packed one could. Try scrambling a couple of eggs, spooning some cottage cheese, or grabbing a handful of nuts to pump more protein into your meal. Interested yet? Make sure you join our millions of followers and hit that subscribe button for all our great bestie content. Number 4. There's no need to eat breakfast if you're not hungry. Are you sure? If your last meal was last night's dinner, your body probably wants food. If you don't feel hungry when you wake, you may not be particularly sensitive to your body's signals. A lack of hunger in the morning is often a result of being too busy and distracted to notice the subtle signs your body is sending. It's not all about belly grumbles. Less obvious signs of hunger include fatigue, headaches, irritability, and weakness. Have you heard the term hangry? You may not notice the signs of hunger as soon as you wake, but they'll likely catch up to you before lunch. Diet researchers have also found that consistently suppressing hunger cues may cause you to overeat later in the day. Don't identify as a breakfast person? Try to listen a little more carefully to your body. Stick to your usual no breakfast routine for the first week, but keep a log about how you feel throughout the day. Energy levels, mood, and unusual things worth noting, like headaches. For the second week, eat breakfast every morning. You don't have to commit to waking up an hour early to prepare a full breakfast. There are plenty of grab-and-go options that'll meet your nutritional needs. Number 5. You should eat breakfast foods for breakfast. The history of breakfast foods is weird and interesting. Ancient Egyptians ate bread with onions and sipped on beer in the morning, neither of which we endorse. Ancient Romans indulged in a full-fledged charcuterie board upon waking. Europeans in the Middle Ages weren't into eating breakfast at all. So where did the idea of breakfast foods come from? It depends on where you live. Waffles, for example, were first introduced to North America from pilgrims in the Netherlands in the 1620s. The typical full breakfast, including eggs, toast, and meat, stems from the United Kingdom. Many traditional breakfast foods like cereals, muffins, and pastries are disguised as healthy breakfast staples, but a lot of them are loaded with refined sugar and hydrogenated oils. In reality, what you eat for breakfast doesn't matter as long as your nutritional needs are met. Aim for nutrient-dense foods with properly balanced macronutrients. A balanced diet usually has 45 to 65% calories from carbs, 20 to 35% calories from fats, and 10 to 35% calories from proteins. Balancing breakfast macros is especially important because you'll need all three to kickstart your day, and a bagel with cream cheese won't cut it. Number 6, you need to eat a big breakfast. A big meal won't necessarily meet your needs better than a small meal. There's a widespread belief that breakfast should be the biggest meal of the day, but there's no concrete evidence to support that. On the flip side, a big breakfast isn't necessarily a bad thing. Listen to your body and figure out what works for you. If you have a physically demanding job or you tend to move around a lot, a big breakfast might be what you need to keep you fueled throughout the day. On the other hand, if you work at a desk all day, you might prefer eating a couple of lighter morning snacks spaced a few hours apart. Consider options like breakfast burritos and omelets, maybe a tofu scramble if you're plant-based. If a big breakfast leaves you feeling sluggish, opt for lighter options that still meet your needs, like a combination of nuts, yogurt, oats, and fruit. Eggs are one of the healthiest breakfast options out there. The best part is that you can cook them in many ways. Learn more by watching 6 Healthy Ways for You to Cook Eggs. Now back to most common breakfast myths you need to stop believing. Number 7, orange juice is a healthy breakfast staple. Breakfast without orange juice is like a day without sunshine, an old ad jingle went. For years, orange juice was touted as the perfect breakfast beverage. Now doctors say you're better off eating an orange instead. That's because fruit juice is loaded with sugar. One 8-ounce glass of orange juice has 23 grams of sugar, which is nearly 6 teaspoons. That is more than twice that of a medium orange. Plus, you get all the fiber when you eat the whole fruit. Even 100% orange juice is loaded with natural sugars, not added sugars. Of course, it is high in vitamin C and other important nutrients, so it's not all bad. You just don't want to overdo it. By the way, that crackdown on juice goes for kids too. In 2017, the American Academy of Pediatrics tightened their guidelines, saying fruit juice should be off limits for children under 1 year and older kids should have just a little. Number 8, traditional breakfast foods are bad for you. Sure, you want to go easy on the bacon and sausage, ditto on the waffles, pancakes, and sugary pastries, but many other typical breakfast foods have gotten an unfair bad rap over the years. Eggs, long blamed for sending cholesterol levels through the roof, are actually loaded with protein, vitamins, and other nutrients vital for eye, brain, and yes, heart health. Your morning cup of joe, once thought to cause cancer and heart disease, black coffee is now known to help protect against high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, Parkinson's, and liver cancer. That whole wheat toast topped with butter, it delivers fiber, something most of us don't get nearly enough of, and healthy fat. Even many boxed cereals can be okay. Whole grain varieties provide fiber, while fortified cereals pack iron, calcium, and essential vitamins. Number 9, nutritious breakfast is time-consuming to make. To get the benefits of breakfast, it has to be healthy and nutritious. With so many options out there, it's easy to slip into unhealthy breakfast options believing they are healthy. Anything from a box and has a long shelf life is usually loaded with preservatives. To make a quick breakfast, it's better to prepare in advance. Let's face it, making eggs, cutting fruit, or grabbing some nuts doesn't take long. Eating the right foods for breakfast can help you lose weight and make you look younger. Learn more about the best foods by watching 13 best breakfast foods to help you lose weight naturally, or 8 breakfast foods that'll make you look younger. So watch one or both of these videos for maximum benefits. What's your favorite breakfast food? Let us know in the comments below.